Hey, what's going on, guys? Zan 1000 back at it again with some more Conqueror's Blade stuff. Um, the last video I did a TW unit guide, basically which units you wanted to have for TW if you wanted to go forward and actually, you know, do the territory wars and stuff. So now I wanted to follow up that video with something that I haven't really seen a lot of people talk about. And, again, this is just my personal opinion. You can change up a few things on this going forward, but I wanted to talk about doctrines and more specifically which ones you want to use on certain units and help them build themselves for what they're already good at. So, for example, stalwarts. I have Breakthrough Doctrine, their Bracing Doctrine, Piercing Doctrine, Piercing Defense, and a Health one. Now, you could change like either the Piercing Doctrine to like an Assassination Doctrine to kill heroes with them and stuff, but I felt like the piercing damage was kind of needed for Cav and other things because you're using Stalwarts mainly as a bracing unit. You're not necessarily using them all that often to kill heroes, but you could swap that out. The bracing one you definitely want to keep because that's going to be for when things are charging into you and stuff like that. I did a piercing defense doctrine mainly for Cav and gunners and archers and things like that because those are going to be your piercing damage, your lances and stuff like that, monastics, winged hussars, all that good stuff. So better defense, more health obviously for the unit that's a tank. We can go over to paladins and stuff. Now paladins, I feel like I need to take out this ranged one and put the assassination doctrine in. I just haven't tried it yet, but we do have a piercing damage because paladins actually attack while being shielded. So most of their attacks are like if you were playing a longsword and you were blocking, they're stabbing, they're piercing damage. We have the block of 140. Obviously, their main thing is blocking and running with their shield in their charge. And then the paladins also have their own piercing doctrine. So I doubled up on that by having two piercing doctrines and gave them a bit more health. So I could have went with like a breakthrough doctrine here or even here. I may change out the range damage taken by 10%, but I do like them a little tankier. I like the fact that I can, keep them going in against gunners or archers in that block formation. So, and I don't really use them too much in TW. Paladins are okay, but not the greatest for territory wars. Now, this is just what I did on my Imperial Pike. Let me go back to it. So, I have the Epic Pole Doctrine on them. I like being able to advance, and then after the advance, still being able to attack. A lot of people would disagree on me with that, because they're just mainly for advance. They're utility. Just push them in, advance on cavalry, and then pull them out. I gave them the health for that reason. I gave them the damage to units for that reason, because you're pushing in on cav and all that stuff. Piercing damage, and then piercing armor pen. So, one of the things that I was thinking about taking out might be either this piercing damage, since I already have this one, and putting in like a piercing defense, but a higher one. I would never use the damage while bracing. I don't ever put Imperial Pike in bracing. They're not that strong. So this is pretty much the setup. I mean, there's a few things that you can maneuver here and there. I wouldn't put the Assassination Doctrine on them because they're mainly for that advance. And then we can move over to Azaps. Azaps I haven't really put anything into. I haven't leveled them. But they're a sword and shield unit. And they are a slashing unit. So I can bring you over to Perfect Sugar. I do need to upgrade their doctrines, but for now, this is what, a health doctrine, a slashing damage, slashing armor pen, reduced damage, and, the breakthrough doctrine. I could take out the ranged one and give them, like, the increased block, because that's what they do. But I haven't used Professor Guard in a while, so I haven't felt the need to swap them out. Because once you get Conqueror, it's kind of just like, well, got Conqueror now, don't really need the other ones. But I do need to get a breakthrough doctrine on these guys, so I might, come over here, strip some of these, and put them on the Conqueror. Now, let's go and look at some of the ranged. Actually, let me go over to my Pike Militia. So now, Pike Militia, or even your Lanchniks. Lanchniks have the reduced charge and all that, and damage while bracing. These are definitely doctrines that you're going to want to use on them. Damage to heroes. Even this one. I don't have them leveled up, so I can't put them in there yet. But your sword and shield units, like, unless they're paladins, they're mainly going to be slashing damage. So that's the only thing you really have to change on them. Iron Reapers, I would build them tanky and blunt damage because I went with the middle tree, and that's all your blunt damage from your flail. And you only go up to here to get this heal. So it's like they're paladins, they have the heal. Now we can go down to range. Your range is pretty much all piercing damage. So on all your range, you're going to want to have things like, for your Pavis, increase their rate of fire. Damage dealt to units, damage dealt to heroes, piercing damage, and maybe a health. You will get a doctrine or two, I believe, in this. So you'll get the piercing damage right there. And then you could get this one, reduce melee damage taken by 80, but I'd honestly rather just go health. So you have the piercing damage right there, and then a health one. So that way they're a little bit tankier, because they're still going to be in range a lot. So I wouldn't worry too much about the melee damage. That's just my personal opinion on it. And then same thing with all these range right here. Nampkin. Accuracy. Damage dealt to units. Damage dealt to heroes. Piercing. Piercing armor pen. Now, one thing I would suggest to always get on Nampkin, if you don't have a lot of these, definitely do the damage to heroes. Nampkin are really strong at hero killing, and that's one of the things that you use them for the most, is you just put them on the side, people start coming up from the siege tower, and you just rain those arrows down. The more damage you can do on a hero, and even in territory wars, if you can kill a hero quickly, they're out of the battle. 2 minutes, gone. More heroes you can kill, the better. Now, I could swap out this for, like, a health doctrine. I had a health doctrine, obviously, before. And even a piercing defense. So, there's a few things that you can play around with on these guys. You definitely want to have the accuracy, though. The damage to heroes. The unit one is okay. I could take it off of there and put it to something else, because they're not really unit killers. Their piercing damage is very low. It's their bleed that does a lot. But I use them a lot that I was just like, I'm just going to leave it on them. Ooh, let me repair them real quick. Now, these two guys. Vassal Longbowmen. Vassal Longbowmen have the longest range of any of your archer units. And the thing is, though, I really don't like heroes that are bow players, because they may have the longest range, but a bow player can still kill all your Vassal Longbowmen. So it's hard to justify bringing them in. But, I gave them damage to units, piercing, health, accuracy, and then I have this random upgraded doctrine, so I just put it on there. But, let me see, what's my normal thing? Piercing armor pen, maybe. So, for your range, you just basically want to go with some piercing damage, health, sustain, always with the accuracy. if you can put an accuracy on them, you definitely want to put it there. So you see like piercing armor, piercing damage, damage dealt to units, accuracy, and health. Same thing over here. You're going to have damage dealt to units, piercing, health, because that's what you want to use them for. You want to pierce through shields, you want to pierce through, you know, your enemies, and the thing is when you look at these units, all you have to do is click on veterancy and go over to their attributes. You'll see what kind of damage they do. So your Imperial Arquebusiers, piercing damage, piercing armor pen. You want to continue to increase that damage. And their health is terrible. So, you know, you want to try and do something to make sure they can survive and live. Same thing. So cavalry, there are different types of cavalry units. You know, you have these guys right here who do, you know, they have the mace, they don't have a lance, they have blunt damage. So you would want to increase their blunt damage. Increase their health. Their health isn't the greatest. Once you get this up, you know, maybe, possibly, and then give them way more health as well. So I even already have a health on them. It's just a temporary one, but even then you see how low their health is. Armored Lancers. They are your fast-moving, fast-striking units. So what you want to do with them is, this is the doctrine that they get from leveling them up and going through the trees. So you got that one. You got the increased movement speed on there. Have them move faster, attack faster. One of the things that a lot of people don't know is that when you're actually charging with your mounts, your cavalry units, the faster they charge, it's a multiplier of how much damage they do. So you definitely want to have them charge faster, move faster. That's why on my monastics and my winged hussars, they have the same doctrines. You know, they have piercing, they have slashing, piercing, slashing. Same thing over here. Slashing, slashing, piercing, piercing. So, winged hussars, movement speed, piercing damage, damage dealt to heroes, damage dealt to units, and health. The reason why I went with all of these, they already have terrible health. So try and get them a little bit more sustained, but a little bit more life. They are insanely good at killing heroes in a charge. So the more damage you do in a charge, the better. Damage dealt to units. You want to break through units and kill as many as you can. And movement speed, again, increases the charge damage. So they're the same thing over here on the monastics as well. So you look at them right there. Now, I can double check and try and see if I missed out on anything. But for the most part, that's really all you need to know. There are some tankier units, like, for example, this type of unit. If you get the shielded ones that are the purple ones, you know, you want to go like just health, defense, piercing defense, blunt defense, because they're just a tank. That's all they are. Damage-wise, they don't do anything. But I think we covered enough. If you guys have any questions, comment down below. Remember to like and subscribe. And if there's any other content that you guys are looking for or need, or anything that you might be interested in, feel free to let me know, and we'll work on that too. Try and get everything situated for you guys as much as I possibly can. I enjoy doing these videos. You know, it's fun. And I finally got my name changed, so now it's just Zayon in here. Good stuff. Paid $5 for it. Didn't want to do it, but you know, hopefully you get some money later on this YouTube thing and pay me my $5 back. But for now, if you guys are on the North American East server, Bloodstone Legion, that's the house. We may be changing the name soon, not sure, but if you ever got a problem or a question or anything like that, feel free to message me in game. Just add me. It's not hard. But take care, guys. I appreciate you all hanging out with me. I will see you guys soon. All right? Let me see. double check one other thing. Yeah, feel like we covered it all. We got the range with the piercing, melee, piercing, slashing. Yeah. All right. You guys take care now. We did miss something. So, I'm back. This will be added into the end of the video. But I did want to say something about how you get your doctrines and stuff like that. So, these right here, your treaties, click on them. Every day they're different. Today for me is cavalry. So if I needed more cavalry stuff, I'd click on it, try and get some more stuff. Try and get as many blue doctrines as I can while dismantling these right here. Now, on the battle pass, if you actually pay for it, you should be able to get a few things through here as well for doctrines, treaties right there. Same thing with, I believe it's weekly quests and stuff like that. You'll be able to do some of these things right here and get certain chests that will give you a whole bunch of rewards. And sometimes they're doctrines, sometimes they're, even with these chests right here and stuff. See right here, treaties, random doctrine, treaties, random doctrine, and treaties. So if you pay for the premium, you'll get a lot more content. I'm not suggesting that you do so, but the more you put into the game, the more you'll get out of it. It's definitely not pay to win, but you will get a lot out of it if you pay for the premium and do the battle pass. If you're into the game and you really want to play it, just do it. It's not a lot of money, about, you know, 10, 20 bucks, give or take here and there. Or you can wait till like Black Friday sales or Black Friday and July sales, things like that. You can get the premium for a lot cheaper. I know during Black Friday I only paid $18 and got 3 months of premium, and I got a mount, I got an attire skin, a unit skin, got a bunch of stuff for 18 bucks. So it's not terrible. Wait for those sales, see when they're happening, and if you want the premium, get it then. But that was it. I saw that I missed that. Comment, like, subscribe. Take care, guys.